I think we can all agree on the fact that the reason why people break up can be traced to either miscommunication or the lack of communication. Couples who break up are too detached from each other because they are not communicating their feelings, their thoughts, and their expectations properly. Welcome to Small Talk, small conversations with huge impact. And before we start this episode, gusto ko lang muna magpasalamat. I really want to thank each and every one of you that listens right now na naisingit nyo ako sa inyong mga busy schedules. Alam ko namang marami kayong ginagawa sa mga buhay nyo, pero andito pa rin kayo, pinapakinggan nyo pa rin ako, and maraming salamat. And gusto ko lang din sabihin na I've got an email earlier, and I read that this podcast, Small Talk Podcast, is the number 58 dito sa Pilipinas, the top 58 pagdating sa lifestyle and health. So, ayun, congratulations sa atin. Tayo ang number 58 dito sa buong Pilipinas pagdating sa lifestyle and health. And yun, gusto ko lang ulit magpasalamat na medyo marami pala yung nakinig dun sa latest na episode ko. Ayun, maraming salamat ulit kung nakinig kayo nun. I really appreciate it. Na nakakatuwa lang na hindi lang pala ako nag-iisa dito sa journey ko in self-growth, in self-love, and self-improvement. Marami rin palang interesado. Kaya ayun, nakakatuwa lang. I just wish na you continue to support this and continue to share this. Continue to share your insights and share this podcast with the people you love and the people you care about. Kasi the more people this podcast reach, the more it reach its purpose. Kaya ayun, maraming ulit salamat sa lahat na nakikinig. And yeah. Okay, so on this episode, we will be talking about the top 5 rules that successful relationships follow. Disclaimer lang, these rules are the rules that I apply to my relationship. And I'm not saying na, I'm a professional pagdating sa relationships. Pero 10 years of relationship is enough experience to see what works and what doesn't work, what helps us and what destroys us. And I honestly believe that these 5 rules will help you put your relationship to the next level. Kung starting relationship kayo and young relationship kayo, malaking bagay itong 5 rules na to. And if you apply these rules, I assure you na your relationship will boost or get to that next level. Kaya if you are listening to this podcast, I highly suggest that you tweet anything that na-hit kayo or nag-agree kayo. Tweet that out, or better, get a piece of paper and write it down. And when you write these principles, make sure you apply them right away sa relationship nyo. And kung busy kayo, hindi nyo pa magawa ngayon, balikan nyo tong podcast na to, i-save nyo tong timestamp na to, and balikan nyo yung mga points na natuwa kayo, na alam nyo hindi nyo pa masyado nagagawa, pero alam nyo malaking matutulong sa relationship nyo. Balikan nyo yun kasi alam ko maraming tao matutulungan nito. Kaya ayun lang. So again, here is the top 5 rules that successful relationship follow. Number 1, listen not to reply. Listen just to listen. I think we can all agree on the fact that the reason why people break up can be traced to either miscommunication or the lack of communication. Couples who break up are too detached from each other because they are not communicating their feelings, their thoughts, and their expectations properly. Which is why the number 1 rule is directly connected in mastering the art of communication. We are either listening or talking. And in talking, madali lang naman yan eh. We can easily talk, we can easily express our words sa partner natin or sa other person. We can easily rant to our partners. We can easily shout and whisper to our partners. But on the other hand, listening is a bit tricky. Which is why women, the most common complaint that I hear from women is that their partner isn't listening enough. Their partner isn't paying attention enough, but their partner isn't listening closely. And because of this, they feel that their feelings is invalidated. They feel that their time expressing their thoughts and their feelings goes to waste kasi hindi naman sila pinapakinggan mabuti ng partner nila. So the main question arises, how do we listen properly? In the book 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, Stephen Covey said that Hindi naman siya word per word. Hindi man ganito yung word per word, pero ito yung essence niya. We tend to justify our feelings when we are exposed to a situation that we feel that our self-esteem is being sabotaged, when we feel that someone is trying to expose our vulnerabilities. We try to justify ourselves. Kahit gaano kamali yun, laging ang ending, sinajustify natin ang sarili natin. Basta feel natin na sasaktan yung damdamin natin, we justify ourselves. Every single time. At the end of the day, we always try to justify ourselves. And the same goes with when communicating with our partner. When our partners try to argue with us, when our girlfriend or boyfriend tries to raise an issue that directly hits our ego, our self-esteem, ang tendency to justify natin yan. So, for more context, here's an example. In the early stages of my relationship with Mio, I was a very, very bad listener. Whenever Mio tries to, kasi si Mio, very observant siya, and the small details, laging tumatatak sa kanya yan. And pag meron siyang feeling na kailangan namin pag-usapan, kailangan namin ayusin, she would try to bring that up. But ang tendency ako, because I was a very bad listener, when she tries to bring that point up, I always find myself interrupting her. No, I don't think that's right. This is how I feel. This is how I think what happened. This is how I think it should happen. I would talk for like 5 to 10 minutes straight when she was the one who was trying to raise a point. And hindi ko na mamalaya na dire-diretso ng pala yung pananalita ko, hindi ko na mapigilan yung pag-justify sa nararamdaman ko. And then, she would just say na, hey, makinig ka muna. And when she says that, I always get this burst of realization na, okay, shit, I'm not listening properly. I'm listening, I'm trying to justify myself. And that is so true. Hindi pala ako nakikinig ng tama. Nakikinig lang ako because gusto kong makasagot ng tama. Gusto kong may mairibat sa kanya. Gusto kong merong agad masagot sa sinasabi niya. Kasi nasaktan ako, naapakan yung pride ko eh. And di ko naman nahayaan na maapakan yung pride ko. And that was me before. And you see, when you approach that with, hindi mo binababa yung pride mo, things get very, very complicated. Because when you try to justify yourself and not listen to what the other person is actually saying, it robs us the opportunity to connect with how the other person is feeling. Hindi naman siya necessarily na kung ano may sinasabi niya tama eh. Pero once hindi natin siya pinakinggan fully, makikita natin, hindi natin magagawang maintindihan kung saan ba siya nanggagaling. Kung saan ba nanggagaling yung mga pinagsasabi niya. Kung ano ba talaga yung deeper meaning ng mga sinasabi niya. So if we listen to reply, we don't get the chance to properly understand where is it coming from and what's the real problem. So, listen not to reply. When you listen to listen, hindi mo man masaulo word per word, hindi mo man masagot agad yung problema niya, pero mararamdaman niya na you are sensitive enough to actually know that there is something wrong and you want to take the initiative to look at the possibilities where it went wrong or what's the real problem. Gusto ko lang din idagdag, I've heard this sa podcast ni Jay Shetty and gusto ko lang din i-share dito dahil this is really good. This is a really good wordplay and it's really, really true. Na he said that if you feel that you need to come on top of the argument, then you are already losing. If you lose and they win, then you both lose. If you win and they lose, then you still both lose. The only way that you win is you win together. Is you both win together. So you need to find a way to compromise, to find the middle ground, to meet halfway para maintindihan talaga yung nararamdaman niya. And that's the number one rule that successful relationships follow. So I hope you like that one. If you like that one, again, write that down or tweet that out para naman hindi mo makalimutan, ma-apply mo siya sa relationship mo. Listen, not to reply. Listen, just to listen. And if you are listening to this podcast, tas gusto mo ring maiparinig sa boyfriend mo, sa girlfriend mo, go, share mo to sa kanila, iparinig mo tong portion na to para naman maintindihan nila yung nami-miss nila, yung hindi nila makita na angle para maidagdag pa para maiangat yung relationship nyo. Kung gusto nyo iparinig to, go lang. Parinig nyo lang sa mga partners nyo and hopefully ma-work out nyo yan. Again, that's number 1. And let's head now to the number 2. The number 2 is grow together and grow apart. Now, imagine you have a circle and all your personalities, your characteristics, your likes, dislikes, and hobbies are in that circle. And the other people around you have their own circle with their own personality and own characteristics, likes and dislikes, and hobbies in their own circle. Now, when you get compatible with another person, when you fall in love with another person, your circles join together. Tapos, merong overlapping part and then merong independent part. Yung overlapping na part, yun yung parehas kayo ng hobbies or parehas kayo ng likes or parehas kayo ng personalities. Yung parehas kayo ng dislikes, andun sa overlapping part na yun. Tapos merong independent part. Diba? Now, as the relationship matures, the circles grow and expand. Now, imagine if the joint part of the circle grows and outgrows the independent part. Then your circle would be so ugly, right? Or if the independent part outgrew the joint part, it would still look ugly. It would still look that the circles are out of harmony. And that is exactly how it happens in the real world. When you focus on your love life and napabayaan mo na yung personal life mo, magkakaroon ng imbalance sa buhay mo. When you try to focus too much on your independent part and mapabayaan mo naman yung love life mo, masisira yung balance and yung harmony ng relationship nyo. Which is why it is very important for you and your partner to grow together and grow apart. What I mean by growing together and growing apart is to have shared experiences and individual experiences at the same time. What I mean is to have shared goals and individual goals as well. This is one I heavily apply with my relationship with Mew. And we had to learn it the hard way. Kasi before, hindi ko pinapractice to eh. You know, I was very focused on my love life. I tried to make my whole life my love life. You know, hiya ako na yung personal life. Kung wala naman mahalaga doon, masaya naman ako kay Mew eh. Masaya naman ako sa love life ko eh. So, focus na lang ako doon. And mga 4 years ago, I tried to make my schedule fit hers. And I was studying at Mapua and she was studying at UST. And I would try to make my schedule revolve or be independent sa schedule niya. And I'd make sure na pag uwian niya na, I would be there outside waiting for her. And 6 out of 7 days, I would be waiting for her outside her school. And the one day na hindi ko siya hinihintay, maybe yun, nag-aaral ako. Pero for most of the times, I always try to fit my schedule, my free time, always kong ina-align ko sa kanya. So, ginawa ko na siyang, alam mo yung favorite na quote na nakakatawa na ginawa mong mundo yung tao lang. And as much as corny or cliche that sounds, that's actually true. Maraming relationship ang nasisira dahil ginagawa nilang mundo yung tao lang. Because they focus too much on their love life and napapabayaan nila yung personal life nila. And in relationships, there always need to have a balance. Balance in personal life, balance in relationship, and love life. With what happened, I didn't see that I was robbing myself from the time that I could focus on my growth, on self-improvement, on I could learn new skills. Ang gusto ko lang talaga nun lumante. Gusto ko lang nun makasama siya, makita siya. And it bit us very, very badly because it became a routine for us. Our relationship became stagnant. And to be honest, it became predictable and boring. And, we eventually then broke up after a little while. And then when we got back with each other, we made sure that we made time for each other and time for our own selves. I could honestly attest that not only is our relationship exciting now, but we both discovered different sides of ourselves that we didn't even know. No, if we hadn't emphasized this rule right now on our relationship, we wouldn't probably get a second chance. So, before one of you outgrows the other one, make sure that you both grow together and grow apart. Make it a goal in your relationship to make time for yourself and for each other. Laging mahalaga yan. It's always number one priority, self-love. In anywhere you go in your relationships, in career, in family, in friends, self-love lagi. Number one dapat lagi yung priority. Kasi pag hindi natin nalagaan ang sarili natin, matidrain tayo, mapapagod tayo, and makakasakit lang tayo ng mga tao. So before we hit that spot, make sure that we provide ourselves with the care that we need, the time that we need to nourish ourselves individually as well as our relationship with other people. So that's rule number 2. Sobrang haba pala nito. Bilisan ko na ha. Sana makaabot ako. Mahaba pa lang yung first 2. Okay, anyways, the number 3 rule of highly successful relationships is make time to talk about your relationship. And I'm not talking just about, pag-usapan nyo kung anong sakay kakain, anong gagawin nyo sa date nyo. Make actual time to talk about your relationship. Partners need to set aside time to talk about what they felt about certain issues, how they are in their current state, and how they expect things to go moving forward. Ang mahalaga, mag-set ka ng 2 to 3 hours to talk about these stuff every week. Every week, kung hanggat maaari, mag-usap kayo na anong naramdaman mo sa mga bagay-bagay. Kung meron kang hinanakit, meron kang sama na loob, meron kang disappointment, meron kang galit na naramdaman, you need to express it sa relationship. You need to talk about that instantly, ASAP. Okay? And you need to tell how you are feeling right now. Kung okay ka na, move on ka na, you need to tell that, you need to express that. And what do you expect moving forward? You need to talk about that. This provides the relationship transparency, and it allows them to be connected with their partners despite their busy schedules, diba? If something is bothering you, this is the perfect time to talk about this. And this time is not meant to talk about, insignificant stuff. Kailangan yung mahalagang part. Yung 2 to 3 hours na pag-uusap nyo, whether it's over a cup of coffee, or whether it's on Skype, pero yung time na yon dapat nag-uusap lang kayo tungkol sa relationship nyo. Yun lang ang pinag-uusapan nyo. Yung mga halagang bagay lang. This makes the relationship collaborative, which is in a perfect sense, what a relationship should be. Talk about your expectations. Take time to set goals. Short-term goals, medium-term goals, and long-term goals. And this is probably one of the best sub-rules na pwede kong sabihin sa inyo ngayon. Set goals. Kasi if you don't set goals, then you're gonna have a very boring relationship. Always try to set short-term, medium-term, and long-term goals. Hindi lang yung long-term na ganito, pakasalan kita, ganito yung anak natin, ganito yung bahay yung gusto ko. Hindi lang yung ganong klaseng goals ang kailangan nyo pag-usapan. Weekly, anong goal nyo for the week? Daily, anong goal nyo for the day? 3 months from now, what is your goal? Ang nakakatawa kasi, yun nga, nasabi ko nga na yung ibang tao, yung funny kasi ng ibang relationship na they are trying to plan out their long-term goals without actually giving a shit about the short-term goals. Now, these goals are of equal importance. One cannot prosper without the other one. Contrary to some other people's belief that successful relationships are so lucky, katulad namin, meron mga nagsabi na, swerte nyo, nahanap nyo na. Hindi totoo yun. Successful relationships actually require planning and a lot of sacrifice. So, make time to talk about these things, because if you won't, it will eventually haunt you in the future. So, make time to plan things out, set your expectations, and to actually talk. Make time. 2 to 3 hours per week, mahalaga na yun. Okay na yun. Okay, number 4. Number 4 is leave the past in the past. Oops. Alam ko marami nati-trigger dito. And in this part, I want you to actually reflect on yourself. Lahat naman ng tao kasi nagkakamali. Lahat ng tao may pagkukulang, 'di ba? Pero we need to understand that we love people despite, not love people because. So regardless of whether, so yun ang kailangan natin mapasok sa isip natin. Lahat naman ng tao nagkakamali eh. And in relationships, most often than not, akala nila dahil mahal sila ng tao, hindi nagagawa ng masama yung tao. Hindi nagagawa ng pagkakamali yung tao. Tao pa din yan. And kakasabi lang natin, lahat ng tao nagkakamali. So, whether he loves you or she loves you enough, pag nagkamali siya, mapatawad mo siya. And once napatawad mo na siya, kailangan iiwan mo na yun in the past. Maraming tao kasi ang pilit na hindi pinag-uusapan yung mga bagay na nakasakit sa kanila. Sinasabi lang, sige, okay lang. And then eventually, pag nagkaroon na naman ng bagong awa, ibabalik na naman nila yung dati na, ikaw nga, ganito yung ginawa mo nun eh. Ikaw nga, last week, ganito yung nangyari. Ikaw nga, ganito yung sinabi mo sa akin last week eh. Nung last time nag-away tayo, ganito yung sinabi mo eh. Pag ikaw, ganun yung sinasabi mo, then you need to take a very good look on yourself kasi you're not letting your partner move on with your past. Diba? Don't try to make the past your reality. The past is in the past. Wala na tayong magagawa doon. Saktan ka niya, it's over. Nandun na yon sa past. Don't try to bring it up here in the present and try to actually, let it affect on how you control your future. Kasi wala nang mangyayari doon eh. Sobrang wala nang kapangyarihan yun eh. Pero ikaw, napilit mong binabalik, nagkakaroon patuloy ng significance yung past. Pero in reality, wala naman talaga eh. Saktan ka niya, di okay na saktan ka niya. Tapos, okay, the real question is, what do you want to do right now? So do not try to bring up. I honestly believe that no one deserves to be constantly reminded of something that they're trying to move on from. Kamali sila, sinabi nila na sorry, na natutunan na nila yung pagkakamali nila. Now they're on to bettering themselves. You should give them that chance. And once you give them that chance, hindi mo na pwedeng ibalik-balik yung nakaraan. Dapat naka-move on ka na rin doon. Sila nga nag-move on eh. Dapat ikaw din. Diba? And ang Diyos nga nagpatawad eh. Dapat ikaw din. So, ayan. That's number 4. Leave the past in the past. Number 5 is probably the easiest and the most practical advice that I could give is to sleep, eat, and exercise together every day. Okay, yun naman, may mga magsasabi na naman na, di naman pwede yan. Busy naman ang schedule namin, di naman namin magagawa yan. Fine. Pero kahit isa lang, either you eat together every day, whether it's on lunch, it's for dinner, kahit di kayo magkasama, nag-Skype kayo, nag-video call kayo, and then you're eating, magkukwento kayo ng mga kwentong ganyan. Basta you eat together at the same time, or kung hindi pwede yun, you sleep together. Pag matutulog ka na, matulog na kayo, hindi man kayo magkatabi, pero sabay kayo matutulog, and sabay din kayo gigising, and yun ang mahalaga. Or you could exercise together. You pick 2 hours a day, and you train every day, you run every day, you do workouts every day. Basta every day, you either do one of these 3. Why, you ask? Kasi once you do one of these 3, your bodies, nagko-connect yan eh. Merong parang symmetry or parang connection na hindi nyo man napapansin, pero you act as one. So if you eat together, you act as one. You sleep together, you act as one. And when you exercise together, you definitely act as one. So once you act as one, kahit hindi kayo mag-spend ng time 24/7, when you feel connected with each other, malaking tulong na yun sa relationship nyo. Malayo na maaabot ng relationship nyo when you do these things constantly. Kahit LDR, or better kung magagawa nyo yan every day, you eat and you sleep and you exercise together, malaking tulong na yun sa self-growth nyo, parehas, and sa relationship nyo. So that's a huge help sa relationship nyo. So I really advise that you sleep, eat, or exercise together. And that's the last advice that I would give. That's the last rule that successful relationships follow. And I would want to talk more about it, but eventually I hit the 30-minute mark, and I didn't expect to be this long. Marami na nahayok ata ako dun sa unang part. Pero anyways, that's my top 5 rules na, again, kung meron kayong gustong balikan nyo, and kung meron pa kayong gustong itanong or clarify, tweet me and let's talk about it. Share me your insights about this episode para naman makita ko kung what hit you and what didn't hit you, and I'll eventually work on that para mas ma-explain ko pa in the future. Pero before I end this episode, gusto ko lang i-share ang ating answers for the question of the episode. And the question of the episode is, if you would give a relationship advice, just one relationship advice to the starting relationships out there, the young relationships out there, what would it be? And here are your answers. Dun sa mga hindi ko nasasabihin, probably kasi medyo similar kayo ng questions, ay ng answer dun sa mga nagsabi. So hindi ko na siya ulit-ulitin dahil yung essence naman ng dun, I'll just pick one of the best way or wordplay na ginamit. Yun na lang ang sasabihin ko. Okay. Okay, one answered, always talk about the problem. Never put the problem to the side because it will keep coming back. That's the answer of Daryl Yane on IG. And I agree. Again, leave the past in the past because it's already in the past. You don't need to always bring it up. Next answer is from Marilena Badilla. Have the same core values. Without a strong foundation, all will eventually crumble. Yes. I could not agree more on that answer. Have the same core values. If you have different core values, mahihirapan kayo mag-move forward. When maharap kayo sa mga problema na masasakit, na mabibigat, magkaiba pala kayo ng values. Pag magkaiba kayo ng values, eventually everything will crumble. So yes, I agree. Great answer. Again, thank you for your answers. Rona J said, you can't push him or her to change. They will only change for themselves. Yes, do not try to control somebody. When you try to control what he or she does, hindi mo napapansin, pero it's a sign of toxicity. Once nandun na kayo sa point na kinokontrol nyo na magbago ka, baguhin mo nga yan. Huwag ka na nga magganyan. Hindi na dapat magganto. Huwag ka na ganyan. Pag paulit-ulit mo na siyang binabago, it's a sign of toxicity. It will never flourish. So stop doing that. You can't push him or her to change. Tamang-tama, Ronald J. Thank you for the answer. And Kim Potable said that never lose individuality and always be reminded that RS relationships a triangle. You, him, the Lord, and your jowa. I agree. Always put Christ in the center of your relationship. When you try to put Christ in the center of your relationship, your faith saves you. Pag hindi nyo na kayang i-save yung isa't isa, your faith saves you. So, again, thank you for your answer. I really agree on that. Okay, what else? Ooh, this one's good. By Mojang, if someone cheated on you, don't frown. You're not the one losing. Yes, when someone cheats on you, and this one calls for a very a separate episode, but when someone cheats on you, don't frown. You're not the one losing. It speaks more on how that person is kesa dun sa'yo. So, pag nag-cheat sa'yo, hindi dahil kulang ka, kundi may problema sa kanya kaya siya nag-cheat. Sa kanya yung problema, hindi sa'yo. Correct. Okay. Mojo Joey. Ayan, parehas kayo ng Instagram handle. Support each other's aspirations and dreams. Be the support your partner needs. Yes. Again, ang relationship is about partnership. It's about support sa pagkakaroon ng individual success. Dapat complementary kayo sa isa't isa. Pag hindi kayo complementary, naglolokohan lang kayo. Hindi rin kayo magtatagal. So, you need to be supportive sa goals and aspirations and dreams ng partner mo. That's correct. That's totally agree with that. Great answer. Thank you so much, Mojo Joey. I like your name. What else? Madrigal Jiggy said, LDRs never work. Never get into one. Wow, that's a huge statement. I can't comment on that. I don't know much. I don't know the statistics sa LDRs, pero if you agree on that, let me know. And if you don't agree on that, let me also know para makita ko kung tama ba yun o hindi. What else? Okay, Alit in Wonderland said, keep your relationship problems private. Got this from Mew. Best advice ever. Well, I can't disagree on that. Si Mew ang nagsabi, hindi, joke lang. Yes, kung hanggat maaari. I know, kang hilig natin mag-vent out sa Twitter, sa Instagram, mag-sub-tweet, mag-sub-post, diba? Magparinig online, social media. Pero, yung mga problems, dapat sa inyo na lang yun. Dapat kayo na lang mag-solve nun. Dahil, ang pangit tignan na sa social media mo pa dinadaan. It shows immaturity sa relationship. So please, if you may problema kayo, keep it private. Yun lang. What else? My girlfriend answered, just be honest about everything. Every starts with it. Yes, honesty. Honesty ang pinakamahalaga. Pat is love. Tada said, walang gantihan. Yan, tama. Walang gantihan. Hindi tayo nandito para mag-keep ng scores. Dito tayo para magmahalan, mag-share ng experiences, and mag-grow together, hindi maggantihan. Tama yan. Tashana Cruz said, fix the problem before going to bed. It's you and me against the problem, not you versus me. Yes. If that's how you look at every problem, wala na akong masabing advice pa sa'yo. You can definitely, survive any struggle na pagdaanan nyo as couple. Kasi when you understand that you want to fix, ang kalaban mo yung problema, hindi yung kausap mo. When you try to address the problem, not the person, it gets a whole lot easier. So I again, that's a great advice. I highly recommend doing that. Also, I do that too. So yeah. Karamihan kasi ang nagsabi na allow each other to grow as an individual. Huwag mong kalimutan yung na sarili mo, mahalaga pa rin. Okay, this one's probably the best one. Jean Paulo 0807 said, it's okay to choose yourself and focus on your priorities first before being committed. If you are committed, don't lose yourself at the expense of someone else's wants. Also, reciprocate and understand your partner's priorities. So yes, I could not agree more on that. Lalo na ngayon, di ba si Mio nasa law school and ako graduating na ako. Medyo iba na yung priorities namin compared sa priorities namin noon. Nag-start pa lang kami. And kailangan meron talagang compromise na pangyayari. And understand that self-love, self-care should still always be the priority. I know love is all about giving, not what accepting. Pero if you would lose yourself, if you would lose yourself in the process of loving someone, then that's not love. You should always think about yourself first. If that's what makes you happy, then keep doing it. If it doesn't make you happy, then stop doing it. Ganun lang yun. So that is your answers of the questions of the episode. And maraming salamat. Thank you so much for sharing your insights. It's really mind-blowing to see all of you responding to my question of the episode. I am learning. Gusto ko lang sabihin to na I am learning as much as you guys are. I am learning every day dahil sa inyo. And I could not be more thankful na nagre-respond kayo and nandito kayo sa podcast ko, nakikinig and nag-share ng experiences and insights. So thank you so much for doing that, for answering, for listening, for being here. Thank you so much. Yun, medyo mahaba na ng podcast na to, so I need to cut this off. Again, shucks, 41 minutes. I need to do a lot of editing. Anyways, sana makinig pa ulit kayo. Sana i-share nyo to and para ikalat nyo naman sa mga friends nyo para marinig nyo to. And ma-reach naman natin yung top 50 ng Spotify charts. Top 56 tayo now. Medyo bumaba ata dahil nagbago today. Bumaba, daming entry today. Pero last week, I peaked at 56. Number 56. 6 na lang. Top 50 na tayo. Kaya please, share this podcast para umabot naman tayo sa top 50. Yun lang. Maraming salamat. Again, this is Small Talk. My name is Alec Cuenca. And have a great day. Have a great week. Have a great life ahead of you. Maraming salamat.